The crimson and gray from Pullman and the purple and gold from Seattle meeting together for the Apple Cup.
It's a rivalry you can't recreate.
I'm excited. This is going to be an intense game, an emotional game for a lot of our players.
It's a real rivalry. We got to go out there and we got to win.
From the Palouse to the Pacific, this rivalry, these games are legendary.
Ward airs it out. Caught it, touchdown! Penix zips it downfield. Caught touchdown for the Apple Cup. The kick is up, and Washington has done it!
Last year in Seattle, it came down to the last play.
The Cougs get the stop! The Cougs get the stop!
For the 117th time, here we go again. And the state of Washington has waited all year for this game. The Huskies have arrived in Pullman. Jonah Coleman can't wait to get going. Actually, the campaign is already rolling. And for Jimmy Rogers and Washington State, a first taste of the Apple Cup on a warm afternoon in Pullman, Washington. You are watching the Home Depot College Football on CBS. Washington State for the 117th time. Hi, everybody. I'm Rich Waltz. Logan Ryan, two-time Super Bowl champ. Tiffany Blackman will join us shortly. This is such a great rivalry. Usually Washington State is favored. Usually Washington State is the underdog. And it kind of feels like that this year. But this rivalry, man, strange things and fun things happen.
It's football, Rich. Anything can happen. And if you're Jimmy Rogers, all you care about is winning this one. You win this one, and the Wazoo fan base is going to love you.
Last week, a faceplant by Washington State at North Texas. They were wiped out, and so a question remained as to who was going to start at quarterback in this game. Last week, Jackson Potter, 3 picks in the first half. Julian Duggar played. Zevi Eckhouse played.
Jackson Potter's the pocket passer of the bunch. Julian Duggar's the Wildcat athlete, but Zevi Eckhouse is going to get the start. And he's going to get the start because he's the blend of the other 2 quarterbacks.
It's his only second career start here in Pullman, but guess what? His other start was brilliant.
He was phenomenal, and it's his legs. His ability to extend plays and create Zevi magic is what the spark and belief is needed for this Washington State offense.
That's the hope, and here comes Washington State at 2-1, a 2-0 start. The loss last week. And of course, last year, they won the Apple Cup at Lumen Field, home of the Seahawks in Seattle. They've got a problem. Actually, they got 2 problems, right? How do they figure out these guys? Jonah Coleman, the running back. Damon Williams Jr., the quarterback.
If you haven't watched Jonah Coleman yet, you're in for a treat. He is the best runner in college football right now. He is a violent finisher, and if you do not tackle him, he's going to find the end zone time and time again, and he's going to count his touchdowns on one hand.
Yeah, but his buddy, the quarterback, this might be a coming out party nationally for Damon Williams Jr.
He's the future of college football. The perfect quarterback right now. He's the most accurate passer in the pocket, and his feet are electric. He can make you miss, he can throw it over top of you, and he can run it in and dance in the end zone.
As you can tell from the noise behind us, here come the Huskies into Martin Stadium in Pullman. 2-0, bye week last week. They wiped out UC Davis. They were tied at 21 in the 3rd quarter, but then beat Colorado State. They look great, but there's still a little bit of mystery coming into this one. For Jimmy Rogers, national championship at South Dakota State 2 years ago, semifinals, gets the job here. 75 new players, brings his entire staff. And this, obviously, his first Apple Cup. Second Apple Cup for Jedd Fisch. He was almost in the same position last year and lost on the last play on a goal line stand by Washington State. You ready for this? The 117th Apple Cup. Let's get going. The Home Depot College Football on CBS is sponsored by Subway, Belfour Property Restoration, Edward Jones, and by Google. He's warming up. Zevi Eckhouse, the senior out of Los Angeles, was a star at Bryant and FCS, gets the call, and with more on that, let's say good afternoon to Tiffany Blackman.
Hey, Rich. Well, Coach Rogers told us that Zevi Eckhouse took it pretty hard and wasn't named the starter going into this season. But what he saw in the weeks to come was Zevi growing as a player. They love his dual threat ability, and more importantly, as a leader. Rogers said when Zevi started to lead as his authentic self, that this team just gravitated towards him. And they're going to lean heavily on him today in Pullman in this magnitude of a game. And guys, I spoke with offensive coordinator Danny Freund just before the game. He told me Zevi is built for this.
We're going to find out for sure. Full house, as expected, as always. This may be the warmest Apple Cup in all 117 of them. This game traditionally was played at the end of November. In Pullman, it was usually snowing and ice. In Seattle, it was usually raining. But last year, they moved the game early, obviously with Washington going to the Big Ten. Washington State won that game at Lumen Fields. Deep kick, good leg by Ryan Harris. And so now Washington State won the toss. They wanted to kick, but the danger is they turn it over to this guy, Damon Williams Jr.
Yeah, this is his sophomore season, Rich, and he appeared in every game last year, but now he's the starter, and he's been phenomenal this year. I want you to notice the command of the offense that he has. Jed Fish says he truly took ownership of it. He's an accurate passer as well as electric when he decides to run with the ball.
And Jed Fish is not only the head coach, he calls the plays. This is his offense, and it's very much like the Los Angeles Rams, because he was down with the Rams, like that offense, kept it in Arizona, and has it here. Coleman in the backfield. Williams to the air. Hit! Dropped! Buda Paletti.
Buda Paletti does not care if it's a college offense, NFL offense, Rich. He is going to get in the backfield right away. Buda Paletti on this side of your screen here just wins with an inside move. Beats the right tackle there, Carver Willis, the big transfer, and he starts the Apple Cup off right with a sack.
Second down and 18. Williams alone in the backfield, four-man rush. Fires over the middle, it's caught. That's Denzel Boston at the 40, lands at the 43. He is the feature receiver for Williams and the Huskies.
The Washington offense has players littered all over it. We talked about the quarterback, we talked about the running back, but we didn't mention Denzel Boston, an NFL wide receiver they have at 6'4", found open across the middle. This is going to be the guy that the Wazoo defense got to keep an eye on, number 12.
25 yards on that play. They mark it at the 42. That's Coleman, a tackle breaker, a playmaker is Coleman. So the receiver room is really talented, deeper than last year. Boston is the leader. They got a couple freshmen in there as well.
They do, but Denzel Boston is the guy I mentioned. He is the one standing at 6'4". Anytime he's isolated one-on-one, they're going to throw 50-50 balls to him because they believe he is better than any defensive back on the field.
Coleman again in the backfield. Blitz comes, quick throw. Coleman has it, races for the sideline, knocked out of bounds at the 49-yard line, short of the first down. This will be third down and 3. Washington State's defense, it's a 4-down structure, and it's structured to stop the run.
And Caleb Franzel is the hybrid player. He's kind of an undersized linebacker, a really big DB, but you're going to see he's active. He plays with reckless abandon, and he's going to be needed here for this third down stop.
Quick throw there. That's Vines Bright, has the first down. He's just a freshman with a really high ceiling. It's a gain of 6. Isaac Terrell made the stop.
Braden Vines Bright is one of the 2 true freshmen playing in this offense, and they just find him easy on a screen, not tight enough coverage there. But this is a pro-style offense. There is complications to it, but they have young offensive players, young wide receiver. We see Vines Bright, who just made the catch there. Dennis Roebuck is another guy you got to keep an eye on. He's had a breakout season, number 81.
Inside Washington State territory, first possession. Play action, Williams throws a great deep ball, fires towards the end zone, and it's just off the hands of Boston. He may have been out of bounds when he touched it. Colby Humphrey with the coverage.
Damon Williams has a tremendous arm, and I told you when Denzel Boston's one-on-one, they're going to go to him. He runs the post route. He has all the space in the world, and Damon Williams just lays us out too far for his receiver to get it down in bounds. I think he could have made the catch, but he didn't have to put that much. He didn't have to show the arm strength off that much for us, Rich.
Practice on Tuesday, Washington threw a lot of deep balls, and Jed Fish, when asked about that, said, yeah, we like to chuck it. And they do. That's Coleman straight ahead, and he's going to pick up 4. This will be 3rd down and about 6. Anthony Polano, the leading tackler for Washington State, made the stop.
I really like what this defense has done so far. They came out and made stops. This is another 3rd down. They need to play tighter coverage than they did on the previous 3rd down when they let up the screen play.
3rd and 6. Four-man rush. Time for Williams. Steps through. He's got great legs and great moves, and he's got a 1st down at the 29. Polano again with the stop. 12 more yards for Washington.
This is why Damon Williams is the complete package. When it's not there, he can run it. Look at this cut. Wow, that looks a la Jaden Daniels-ish when he decides to run the ball. And this is the problem with this kid. He can throw it deep, he can throw it short, but when it's not there, he can also extend the play.
Problem for Washington State for sure. Inside the 30. Williams again, ton of time. Fires to the end zone. It's caught. Touchdown, Boston. Let's 29 yards. How about that for a coming out party for Williams?
They wanted to strike quick, Rich. I got to see if he got this foot down on this one, though. He makes the catch, and look at that right foot. It taps there in bounds. We're going to see this right toe, and that's clearly in. That is a toss, a catch, and a touchdown. Denzel Boston starts fast for Washington.
And that catch and that throw is why there were a ton of scouts this week in Seattle watching Washington practice. 9 plays, 75 yards, 4 minutes. Extra point up and good. Remember, we told you there's some problems for Washington State. Damon Williams, Jonah Coleman, and this guy, Denzel Boston. Washington on the board first in the 117th Apple Cup.
It's Subway's new Fresh Fit menu, featuring the grilled chicken and avocado, the 35 grams of protein, a full serving of veggies, and our Baja Chipotle sauce, all under 500 calories. Keep moving with Subway's new Fresh Fit menu. Subway, eat fresh, feel good.
Did you know Geico has a 97% customer satisfaction rating?
Is it weird seeing yourself on TV?
It's my job, isn't it? To let people know that Geico's more than just savings.
Certainly have our cat's attention. Whoa.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, it appears so.
Well, they just love great customer service.
Customer service, right.
They don't get this excited for wet food. You know?
No.
Guys, he's right here.
Get more than just savings. Get more with Geico.
We're surprising Twisted Tea superfans with a Twisted Tea drop. Twisted Tea tastes like real iced tea because it's made with real brewed tea and 5% alcohol to kick off your game day. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Keep it twisted.
This is Judy and Pedro. They just bought their first home and are learning a lot. Thanks to Google, Pedro knows more than he wanted to about gravel. Oh. And Judy wouldn't call herself a plumber, but she dabbles.
Wait, how do these things work together? Honey, I did it!
So far, if they've learned one thing about home ownership, is that there's a lot to learn. Good thing you can just ask Google.
Why does my daughter talk to everyone except me? You're a hard person to disappoint. At the end of the day, this town is a family. Let's show them who we are.
Sheriff Country, Friday, October 17th, part of CBS Premiere Week.
Now it's time for Working on a Win, presented by the Home Depot.
Yeah, let's break down this 29-yard touchdown of Denzel Boston. He's going to be locating the bunch right here, and they have one-on-one coverage with this corner. And watch the route. It's a double move here and go. And when Denzel Boston sees that, quarterback sees it, it's touchdown all day long. They get the one-on-one at the top of your screen, and you're going to have to double them, Rich. You're going to have to change the defense because this is an NFL receiver that they have, 6'4", that can run all the routes.
That big play on that drive was that second down after the sack, the 25-yard throw with Boston the catch. Now, the question all week, who is going to start at quarterback? We answered it for you. Zevi Eckhouse, what do you expect to see today?
They're going to have to move the pocket with him. This kid's athletic. He can throw it. He can run it. He can extend plays for him. I wouldn't be surprised if they run a QB run early in this game to get Zevi in the game. But some of the magic that he brings, we saw in the bowl game, they're going to need that today.
Angel Johnson, the speedster, is in the backfield.
Keep the ball in Zevi's hands here.
That's Johnson. This is Eckhouse. Steps through one. It gets across the 30. And that's a nice move for a 7-yard pickup. This is a pro-style multiple offense. It's run first, pass second. The problem is they haven't been able to run it that well.
And that's why Zevi Eckhouse gets the start. But Josh Meredith, his receiver there, number 18, played in the Apple Cup last year for the Wazoo win, and he had a huge game. Had a touchdown, multiple big catches. So there are players on this roster that do have experience playing in this game, in this rivalry.
Johnson behind Eckhouse. And it's Johnson. He's had a hard time getting rolling this year, but a nice move gets him a first down out to the 36. Ryan Walters, the coach from Purdue, the head coach from Purdue, is now the defensive coordinator. It's a multiple defense that's intent on disrupting the quarterback. They got a really good linebacker who's familiar with Pullman.
Oh, Buda Al-Ukta, he crossed enemy lines, Rich. He was at Washington State last year. He goes over to Washington. He has tremendous instincts. He's their leading tackler, and he's going to be making a lot of plays for defensive coordinator Ryan Walters today.
Now you saw Walters there. So a first down for Washington State. And this is Johnson again, and Johnson hit, spins away. Johnson had 23 carries coming into this game and was averaging just 1.4 yards per carry. But they have high hopes for him, and he's looked good on those first 2 runs.
He's a high school track star. He's a speedster. They got to get him space. And Rich, when you're not running the ball well, I like the move of putting in an athletic quarterback, because the quarterback run game can free up some of the gaps for the running backs when he does hand it off.
Maxwell Woods now in the backfield. He's the best receiver of the running backs for Washington State. Eckhouse, and that is Woods, and he's caught. That's a terrific play by Al-Ukta, Tariq Buda Al-Ukta. One note, Takario Davis is out for Washington. He is a big corner at 6'4", and that's a big loss. Everyone expects he'll be playing in the NFL shortly.
He's a staple of the Washington defense, and with third down coming up, I expect man-to-man, because not only is Takario Davis 6'4", but their other quarterback, Ephesians Prizak, number 7, is 6'4" as well. So they have tall corners. They play press man-to-man pretty much all the time, Rich.
Tough to find corners at 6'4". Third down and 4. Eckhouse makes the throw and the catch. Josh Meredith, who starred in the Apple Cup last year, and now Washington State moves the football into Washington territory.
Josh Meredith says, I'm not new to this, I'm true to this. Eckhouse kind of buying time for Meredith to get open. He got the captain, the 5th-year senior. This game means a lot to him. I expect 18 to show up big today for the Wazoo offense.
And this drive means a lot to Washington State after last week, a 59-10 loss. Eckhouse caught there. That's Trey Lechner, the tight end, and they move him all over the place. He can catch it, he can run it, and he's a good blocker as well.
And speaking to the Washington State coaching staff, they know what it is. They know that Washington has star corners. They have the deeper D-line. They have Al Buda on the other side. They need to create one-on-one matchups. Washington plays press man. Okay, we're going to put in a mobile quarterback, and we're going to find picks and rub routes for our receivers, our tight ends, and our running backs.
Jimmy Rogers brought his entire staff from South Dakota State to Pullman. Danny Freund is the offensive coordinator. And so far, so good on this drive. On second down, again, it's Angel. This time just a yard, and this will be third down and a long 6. So look, South Dakota State was a great running team. They ran for more yards than they threw for. It's not working, at least at the moment, here at Washington State.
It is not. When those ranks are in the 100s, Rich, that's not a good sign. You can't run a RPO, run pass option offense, if you can't run the ball. But again, that led to a quarterback change. And Zevi Eckhouse, some Zevi magic is needed here on 3rd and 6.
15 yards on the ground on this drive. Third down, long 6, 4-man rush. Eckhouse hit as he throws, deflected and intercepted. Washington has a pick. Alex McLaughlin. And the return out to the 47. McLaughlin, the junior. Eckhouse hit as he threw. Ball was deflected. Turnovers killed the Cougars last week. And on their opening drive, Washington has a pick and great field position.
Thursday Night Football on Prime.
It's on.
Let them know.
Thursday, the Seattle Seahawks take on the Arizona Cardinals.
Touchdown!
Stream Thursday Night Football. Seahawks, Cardinals, Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern, only on Prime.
Run. Yes! Woo! Prize Picks lineup is all green, baby!
Yeah, me too, boy. That's how we do it.
We are prediction geniuses! Run.
New users play $5 and get $50 instantly in site credits. Prize Picks.
Being a champion means knowing when to work and when to reward myself.
Strawberry mango.
This is amazing. And with my Active Cash credit card from Wells Fargo, I earn a limited 2% cash rewards on purchases.
Really? You call this a workout?
I'm just taking a little break. Then I'll get back after it.
I'm messing with you. Actually, that looks really good.
Make it 2. With the Active Cash credit card from Wells Fargo, I earn a limited 2% cash rewards on purchases. Terms apply.
Here at Washington State University, we train our eyes on local communities, on all corners of the globe, on the future. And we go. Identifying challenges, uncovering potential.
We go forward.
We go boldly. We go cultivate.
Go imagine.
Go further. Go heal.
Fearlessly, tirelessly, with all we are, with all we've got.
We go together.
Washington State University. Here we go.
Washington State quarterbacks taking a look on the tablet of that interception. What did you see?
I see Zach Durfee, number 5, on the right side with a beautiful inside spin move here. Just beats the tackle off rip, inside spin, causes the pressure, tips and overthrows Rich. We say in the DB room, gotta have those. Alex McLaughlin takes it back. But look at Zevi, Rich. He's staying positive. It's a positive guy, and this is the reason that I think they can stay on track with him because he's experienced.
Let's go down to Tiffany Blackman. Tiff?
Yeah, guys, I watched him address that team, and like everyone was just quiet listening to him. He said it was just a mistake. One mistake, but we can keep driving up and down the field, encouraging them to keep going.
Thank you, Tiff. Give Devin Bryant some credit. He was the one that tipped the ball that McLaughlin picked off. And the Washington State run defense, pretty good here. Coleman is going to lose 4 yards. Now, last week, every one of these turnovers was a catastrophic turnover, and that's one of the reasons they lost 59-10, the second worst loss in Washington State history at North Texas.
5 first-half turnovers, all on your own side of the field. There's no way you can win a game. Last week snowballed out of control for them, but this is the one that matters today.
Second down, 13. Williams will pull it, and he's got a lane. Williams to the sideline, to the 30, and he's out of bounds. There's not much he can't do.
Rich, I played defense in the NFL for 11 plus years. You cannot stop the run if you don't set the edge. Caleb Francil goes inside. I see no edge of the defense. And Damon Williams, especially a dual threat quarterback, if no one has the quarterback, he will make you pay in the run game.
Williams already approaching 100 total yards. That's Jordan Washington, and he's caught and dropped there. Cale Reeder up for this safety spot. That's after a gain of 3.
This Washington offense can run it in between the tackle, but they also give the perimeter sweep here. Right outside, that's the difficulties of defending it. The offensive line play has been pretty good this year, actually elite, and that's why they're so balanced of a rushing and a passing attack.
Jimmy Rogers in Washington State needs a stop. You don't want to let this team in Washington get rolling, and it feels like they are. Williams, a quick trigger there. Nice catch, and out of bounds is Coleman. Let's see where they mark him, and it looks like short of the first down.
You nailed it, Rich. They need to stop desperately here on third down. The thing about Washington is they're over 70% this year on third down. That's magnificent. And they also go for it on fourth as well. I wouldn't be surprised if this is 2-down territory, 4-down territory, that is, for the Washington offense and Jedd Fisch.
2 of 2 on third down already today. He's over 70% on the season.
And here's your third down guy right there, Jonah Coleman.
Williams behind Coleman, gets a block at the 10. Touchdown, Huskies. $23 yards.
Damon Williams can pass it, he can run it, and he looks good dancing in the end zone, Rich. I alluded to it earlier in this drive. If you do not set an edge against this quarterback, he will make you pay. Nobody in the screen. The only edge set was the sideline there, and Washington State has to step up and play more sound defense to stay in this game.
After the interception, 5 plays, 53 yards. Last week's interceptions just absolutely hammered Washington State. Washington gets a pick. Bryant the tip. McLaughlin holds it. And then Williams, 23 yards to the end zone, and quickly it's 14-0.
I used to struggle with dandruff, but now I use Head & Shoulders every wash because the active ingredient in Head & Shoulders fights off the microbes that cause dandruff.
Where do you think you're going?
See? No flakes down here.
Make every wash count.
Living with chronic migraine? 15 or more headache days a month, each lasting 4 hours or more. Botox prevents headaches in adults with chronic migraine, and treatment is 4 times a year. So why wait? Talk to your doctor.
Botox effects may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away, as trouble swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness can be signs of a life-threatening condition. Those with these conditions before injection are at highest risk. Side effects may include allergic reactions like rash, breathing problems, dizziness, neck and injection site pain, and headache. Don't receive Botox if there's a skin infection. Tell your doctor your medical history, muscle or nerve conditions like ALS, myasthenia gravis, or Lambert-Eaton syndrome, and medicines like botulinum toxins, which may increase the risk of serious side effects.
In a survey, 91% of patients wish they'd started Botox sooner. Ask your doctor today. If eligible, you may pay $0.
When you make your dip super creamy with Best Foods, your new boyfriend can know nothing about football.
Oh, he touched it down. Bro, that's the other team.
And still fit in just fine.
Have you tried the dip?
Oh, great fumble.
Great fumble? That's a Hail Mayo.
Survivor is always evolving. This is your moment.
I will try to be brave, but not on day 1.
This is your season. Survivor 49 premieres CBS Wednesday and streaming on Paramount+.
Fourth and goal from the 1. Washington State on 24-19. Here we go. They need a touchdown to win. Here's the snap. Rogers rolls out to his right, looking to pitch it. He does the last second. The Cougs get the stop. The Cougs get the stop. Shy of the first down and getting into the end zone. Washington State with the stop. Cougs take over.
And you know what? That was the first taste of the Apple Cup for Jed Fish. He was in the meeting yesterday, pretty darn focused and pretty determined to make a statement in this one. And look, last year he was taking over for Kalen DeBoer, who went to Alabama, national championship game. But in this modern game of college football, when a coach leaves, most of the players go with them. Even the recruits go with them. So when you come in, you have to bring some of your guys, and he did from Arizona, some of your Arizona recruits, and then put it together in the portal. And the place where he had trouble last year putting it together was in the offensive line. We'll talk about that in a moment. Of urgent concern in the Palouse. Washington State needs to move the ball and get on the scoreboard. They give their defense a rest. Angel Johnson right side to the 30-yard line. Yeah, there might be a little pushing after the whistle because this is the Apple Cup. This is the path that you take across the state. And there's so much of a difference between Pullman and Seattle, between Cougars and Huskies. Big city Huskies with a nice big stadium and all the nice toys. Pullman, where they don't have all the resources, a smaller stadium in the Palouse. That's kind of the backdrop of the rivalry between Washington State and Washington. In all sports and in all families. Eckhouse to about the 32. Let's check back in with Tiffany Blackman. Tiff?
Yeah, about that rivalry, Rich. We talked with Zevi in our meeting. He was telling us, you know, despite the magnitude of this game, that nothing changes for him. The formula of what he's done mentally and physically to get where he's at, it's going to stay the same. He has the confidence of Coach Rogers and his teammates. And guys, I go back to that conversation with offensive coordinator Danny Floyd. He said he's got that ick factor. He's kind of like a Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, as you saw in that shot, there's plenty of families in this state that have a Husky and a Cougar under the same roof.
And that Husky's cheering a little louder right now. The Cougars got to respond on this third down.
Eckhouse, a little toss there, and it's caught by Pulalasi. And Leo Pulalasi has got himself a first down to the 37. Nicely designed play, 5 yards.
Rich, that was so needed. That was a crucial third down to stop the bleeding, being down 14-0. Zevi extends the play with his feet, and this is drawn out for the running back to slip out to the side there. And he was driving the ball last drive. Washington State has played well offensively. It just was the unfortunate tip to a turnover.
He was an outstanding quarterback at Bryant at the FCS level. Eckhouse gets out, little sideways throw, man wide open, caught there. That's Ellison with the catch, his first career catch as a Cougar, and he's inside the 45, 20 yards on the hookup.
Rich, I hope you guys can hear the crowd noise at home. It's electric. Look at the throw by Zevi Eckhouse. You said Baker Mayfield-ish. Roll left, throw it across the field. That's not what they teach you. But they need a spark on this offense today, and that's what Zevi's providing in these last 2 plays.
He was a Walter Payton Award finalist. That's the Heisman Trophy at FCS back in 23. Came off the bench last year and had that great bowl game. There's movement and finger pointing on both sides. Washington moved first, but if they got back before Washington State moved, let's see.
Ball starts. Offense number 67. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Johnny Lester jumped.
And Rich, check this out. Zevi Eckhouse, 11 yards per attempt. Previous starter, Jackson Potter, only 6. That's not throwing it down the field enough. Zevi Eckhouse going to test this Washington secondary eventually.
5 of 6, 40 yards total, and of course the 1 pick. Now it's 1st and 15 right at midfield. Eckhouse, quick throw, almost picked. He had to throw that sooner than he wanted, sooner than the break of his receiver. And it's 2nd down and 15.
Pass intended to Maxwell Woods. They want to utilize these running backs in the pass game, but it's the offensive line. That has been the issue so far this season, in my opinion. They're not holding up long enough for the pass plays to be completed, for them to develop. You see, Vaipulu beat off the line immediately right there.
2nd and 15. Washington has shown pressure. They bring 4. Eckhouse has time. Little toss there, and it's Ademola Fale with the catch, but this is going to be a real ambitious 3rd down. Not a big gain at all. 3rd down and about 12.
When the offensive line is a little overmatched, Rich, this is not the down and distance you want to live in. With Washington's ability to bring pressure and play man-to-man, how does the offensive line protect long enough to get this ball downfield?
Final seconds, first quarter. Washington State down a couple touchdowns. Movement and flags, that's a free play. Eckhouse knows it, throws it up, and in a traffic jam, they get a flag, and it's interference. That's a smart play by Eckhouse. A free play, and in doing so, a 15-yard pass interference. However, there's another flag back right at the line of scrimmage, and that probably was the offside. Let's wait for the call. This is a Big Ten crew. Tim O'Day is the referee.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both committed by the defense. Offside, defense number 48. That penalty has been declined. Pass interference, defense number 2. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down. That is the end of the first quarter.
It extends the drive, and it ends the quarter.
Rich, you were on it. I love the false start draw, the offsides to the PI here. It's a free play. Why not throw it up? Washington State scoring position when we come back.
Next Saturday, 7:30 Eastern on CBS Sports Network. Washington State hits the road, Fort Collins, to take on Colorado State in prime time. Moments ago, Tiffany Blackman with Coach Jimmy Rogers.
Coach Rogers, this team gets another shot at it. With Zevi being able to kind of settle down, use his legs more, why do you think that's working for him?
Well, he's a good player. He's just got to make sure that he can keep the chains moving here and make smart decisions. He's done that thus far. We just got to execute on defense.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tiffany. All right, Eckhouse with the keeper here. If you're just joining us, Washington scored on their first 2 drives, and they've scored touchdowns on their last 11. Washington State, who got blown out last week, shell-shocked at North Texas. With a new quarterback, Zevi Eckhouse starting. Moved the ball initially, threw a pick. On this drive, they've held the ball, and they're down to the 26 of Washington.
And it's so vital on this drive for them to come away with 7 points here, Rich. A field goal will not do enough. They've been driving it great. They got to finish with 7.
Kirby Voorhees in the backfield. 8th play of the drive. This is Voorhees. He's the tough runner, and he stays on his feet, and that's a tough run down to the 20-yard line, and that's a first down. This guy is somewhat of a bowling ball, 5'11", 208.
He plays with heart, and you see how he runs it here. And this little run, converting this one on 2nd down, it gets the fans into it. When you're falling forward in a rivalry game, that gets your fan base engaged.
Doesn't hurt when your offensive lineman gives you an escort across the first down marker. So, ball at the 20-yard line. Red zone this year, Washington State's not bad, 6 of 9. Now Angel Johnson and Voorhees in the game at the same time. Eckhouse looking, little flip, caught there, and a tightrope down inside the 15, all the way down to the 12, and Voorhees out of the backfield with a nice catch.
They came back to this play a couple times, a misdirection to the back or the tight end. Voorhees there, tiptoeing the sideline. If he was able to catch that cleanly, he would have got a couple more out of that.
I don't really want to say dink and dunk. Maybe a little more creative with tight ends and running backs in the pattern.
You have to be when you're outmatched in the O-line. D-line play, you got to get the ball out quickly. You don't have a lot of time to drive it downfield, Rich. So I love the misdirection.
Trouble hearing. You see the green dot on Eckhouse's helmet. That means that he's got the comms in his ear from his offensive coordinator, Danny Freund. And it looks like it's not working right now. Timeout, Washington State. Cougars on the move. Hey, Adam, thank you for that one. 14-0 Washington's on top. Washington State is on the move. When we left you, there was a question about the comms for Washington State, the radio from offensive coordinator to quarterback. That's been out. Jimmy Rogers wants his timeout back. It doesn't look like he's going to get it, but the official came to the Washington sideline with the possibility of telling Washington, you've got to put your comms down until they get theirs back. We'll keep an eye on that. And of course, Tiffany Blackman is down in the middle of it.
You never know what can go wrong in a rivalry game, Rich. It's usually not the home team that has communication problems, though.
Best drive of this early evening for Washington State. Eckhouse keeps it. Initially hit and then stood up right at the line of scrimmage. It was second and about 2. And Bryce Butler was the guy that stuffed them.
This Washington defensive front is deep. They have a lot of guys, and Bryce Butler, one of them. This man standing at 6'5", 320 pounds, and this is the difference of what Washington has resources as opposed to Washington State, a really deep defensive line group.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to play like 11 or 12 guys. Voorhees, the short yardage back, is in. 3rd down and a short 2. Zevi Eckhouse pulls it, got a man wide open, caught there, touchdown, Bo Baker, a redshirt freshman, his first career catch is a touchdown.
Bo Baker. Rich, imagine your first catch of your career is in the Apple Cup. You see, left side of your screen there, he slips out, someone forgets about him. We know Washington plays man-to-man defense, and the misdirection has been working all drive long. Bo Baker slips out in the flat. He was on nobody's scouting report. The redshirt freshman's first catch goes for a touchdown in the Apple Cup.
And that's why Zevi Eckhouse is the choice. Athletic, can make plays. Hold it. Nice little touch pass. 8 different receivers have caught passes already. And the Cougars are in the end zone in the Apple Cup. It's 14-7 Huskies. Zevi Eckhouse is just lighting up the sideline with that touchdown pass. Cuts the lead in half. Hey, Saturday, CBS Sports brings you an early season Serie A showdown between Juventus and Atalanta. Saturday, CBS. It streams on Paramount Plus. Look at the sun peeking over the football complex. It'll be out of that end zone here in a moment. It's good news for receivers in that end zone as night creeps a little closer on a warm afternoon and early evening in Pullman, Washington, southeast corner of the state, among the wheat fields. This stadium, Martin Stadium, has seen so many incredible moments, especially in this rivalry. And the kick goes through the end zone. If you haven't seen Damon Williams Jr. play, you're missing something.
He is good at football. He's been as good as advertised. He can throw it with beautiful touch and precision. The most accurate passer in college football, ladies and gentlemen. And then he can run it like this. This is what the modern day college football looks like. Damon Williams Jr. is the face of this Washington team and the face of the future.
They've scored on their last 16 drives. 1st and 10. Pitch to Coleman. He has yet to get going, and a nice hit by Matthew Durrance coming up from his safety spot. That's a gain of about 3.
You got to get more excited, Rich. That was a beautiful hit by Durrance. That is hard to do. The former DB in me, when you're tackling a guy like Jonah Coleman, they say all week, he is the guy we got to stop. Number 1's going to run all over you. I love Durrant's ability to come up and make that tackle.
I will adjust accordingly. Vines Bright in motion. Williams in the pocket. It collapses. He's spun around. He's got a man wide open. That's caught. That's Coleman. Makes a man miss to the 40. Coleman to the 30 and tumbles down to the 27. Playmakers all over the place. Williams and Coleman, and a huge play for Washington.
Damon Williams has given us highlight after highlight. He stays in the pocket, it's not there. But look at his ability to get slippery. He gets out the pocket, he finds his back. Not easy to tackle on this one, Rich, and leads to a major gain.
48 yards is a major gain. And here they are in Washington State territory again. Pitch this time to Muhammad. He's got a lane inside the 15, down to the 11. Oh, by the way, this guy is a terrific back as well, Adam Muhammad, the sophomore.
And he could start about every college there is in the country as well. They have a great running back room there in Washington, 2 NFL caliber backs. Muhammad is waiting his time and learning from Jonah Coleman. Quite the 1-2 punch in Washington.
Coleman's back in, 2 tight end look. Omari Evans in motion, his first action of the year for Washington. And a 1st and 10 little RPO. And that's Coleman, bounces once, bounces twice, and he's in. Touchdown, Washington.
Try to tackle Jonah Coleman once, shame on me. Try to get him twice, Rich, shame on you. He's a tough guy to tackle. Look at the yards after contact. Now, does he get this ball in? It takes about 4 guys, and he crosses that pylon to me. That looks like a touchdown, but this is going to be the better angle here for all of us. I think with his knee crossing and him falling, that pylon falling over, it's a clean 6 points for Jonah Coleman.
As long as the ball passes over the pylon, that's all you need.
Leads FBS with his 8th rushing touchdown this season. Jonah Coleman for Heisman. I saw a couple signs here in the crowd.
And I think if you turn that sign around, it also says, and don't forget about Damon Williams Jr. Extra point is up and good. Jed Fish and Washington have scored on their last 17 drives. Jonah Coleman. And it's 21-7 now. 21-7. Jonah Coleman grew up in Stockton, California. And he's making a name for himself here in Seattle. Arizona, of course, came in the portal. And 8 rushing touchdowns already this season. And remember, this is game number 3 for Washington. They had a bye last week.
He's leading the country in rushing touchdowns, Rich, and he's played 1 less game. He's already had a bye week. He's had an unbelievable start. The Jonah Coleman for Heisman talk is real. It's early, but if he keeps playing like this, he might get some hardware at the end of the year.
Ethan Michalski will kick off for Washington. Washington State scored on their last drive, and their quarterback, Zevi Eckhouse, is 8 of 10 for 63 yards. 1 costly tipped interception. Remember, this is just his 2nd start in 2 years here at Washington State.
He got named the starter this week. Not a lot of time. It started off bad, but remember, he was positive. Now look at him. The Zevi magic starts to happen. He's willing his team. Beautiful play design. His ability to extend plays has allowed the play calling to get a little more exotic for him.
Hey, Tiff, what's up with the helmet and the comms from the sideline?
Yeah, the comms had gone down in Zevi's helmet, but I didn't see it being worked on, but I did just get word from the sideline that they are back up, guys.
All right, thank you.
They're going to need that.
Ellison in motion. Zevi with play action. Little sidearm pass. Oh, huge hit. Flag down. Landon Wright took the hit. Flag came down not near the hit, but in the defensive backfield. Ryland Dillard Allen with the hit.
Holding. Defense number 27. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
And that hit came high on the receiver as well.
Dillard Allen had it lined up all the way, but it looked like he did lead with the crown of that helmet there. The refs didn't catch it. Let's see the holding right here. Bottom of your screen there. Oh, top of your screen right here. Tough to see. But that's what gets Washington State off the hook.
Angel Johnson is in. 1st and 10. That throw behind Jeremiah Noga, but he makes the catch. It's a gain of 5, 2nd down and 5. This is how Washington State moved the ball down the field and got their touchdown. Not in huge 20, 25-yard chunks, but in little 7 or 8-yard gains.
Jimmy Rogers knows right now, Rich, that they got to go score for score. The defense has not stopped Washington. No defense has stopped Washington all season. So the offense now has to generate points, much more than they have. They got to go score for score with Washington to stay in this game.
See the note there, 9 different receivers have caught passes for Washington State. Huskies show blitz. Here they come. And that's Johnson, who's swallowed up by uwvideo. Loss of 2.
We talked about the depth of this Washington defensive line. They got guys all over the place that can make plays. 4 Washington defenders in the backfield of Washington State. No play that you draw up, Rich, is good when the other side has 4 guys on your backfield.
First tackle for loss for Ryan Walters' defense. And it's a 3rd down and 7.
See a lot of guys at the line of scrimmage here. Do they rush? Do they pop out? That's the game.
They're coming. Eckhouse throws, and it's a sliding catch by Freeman for a 1st down. 17 yards.
Rich, do you see Eckhouse's ability to back up? He keeps drifting back versus the pressure, giving his receiver Freeman a chance. This guy's an electric slot receiver. You see him there, got the matchup on the safety, and that's what Washington State is looking for. They know that Washington runs a lot of man-to-man. They need time to exploit the matchups.
Now 10 of 12 is Eckhouse into Washington territory. Play action, loves to throw the post, instead to the sideline. That one's caught too at the 20. Ellison again.
Zevi Eckhouse, the magician. Look at this beautiful ball right in the sun. Dropped it in a bucket there. They had the time to complete the man beater, the corner route there, and Eckhouse with the beautiful throw in the bucket, Rich. It doesn't get better than that.
Ellison did not play for 3 years, trying to get eligible. Went to junior college, played, and now here he is. And he's made a couple of really big catches in this one. Halfway through 2nd quarter. And Washington State has to burn their 2nd timeout. We'll step aside as well. Jimmy Rogers and the Cougars on the move, but down 21-7 for the 2nd quarter. All right, Adam. Washington State fell behind in this one. They scored to cut the lead in half. Washington scored on all 3 drives, and their last 17 drives overall. That puts the pressure on Washington State and Zevi Eckhouse to stick in the end zone here.
Give Jimmy Rogers credit, Rich. I think he made the right choice starting Zevi today. He has played pretty well other than the 1 interception so far in this half. They're going to need another touchdown again to go score for score in this game.
1st and 10. Eckhouse will keep it into the teeth of the Washington front. And that's about a 2-yard gain. He ran into Zach Durfee, who made the hit that forced the interception that sent Washington on their way to one of the touchdowns.
I noticed it from up here. There is not a lot of space in this run game. Washington's doing a great job of taking that away. Washington State needs to continue the misdirection, the boots, the pass game to the 10 different receivers in order to punch this ball in the end zone.
One thing Ryan Walters told us yesterday, the defensive coordinator, this is the 3rd different style of offense they've faced, and this is game 3. 2nd and 8. Eckhouse play action, looking, scrambling, escapes, not there, blasted at the 19. It's going to be 3rd down and 10. Good job coming up, Mikel Esteen and Tariq Buda Alukda.
Buda Alukda closed this like a homing missile. Watch number 3 come out of your screen and just finish Eckhouse right there. He looks a lot like another Buda that played for University of Washington, Buda Baker that is, who makes plays on Sundays.
Well done. Brock Dew, the center for Washington State, told us yesterday, it's going to be tough looking across the line. at Alukta because he obviously was a Cougar last year. 3rd and 10. Eckhouse fires, trying to get to the back shoulder of Meredith. Prysock was defending, and it's incomplete, and Washington State's field goal unit coming on.
Ephesians Prysock, number 7 here, 6'4" corner, matched up in the slot. This is supposed to be a man beater, but he's just too big, too long, too good. This is what he does all game long. Lock up on the edge. Prysock gets him off the field there.
Jack Stevens is 5 of 5 this year. His long is from 49. This is from 37. And he got it into the sun-soaked stands. 3 points on the board, but a lot of work to do for Washington State. 21-10, Huskies. The 117th Apple Cup, Washington, 21-10 on top, 5:21 left first half. Coming up, Geico halftime report. Logan Ryan is dancing as well. Adam, Aaron, Coach Neuheisel's back. BJ will break down the game. The Geico halftime report. Rick Neuheisel, in 4 years at Washington, did not lose to Washington State, and this was the biggest Husky wipeout of them all in Pullman on a cold and snowy night. They went to the Rose Bowl that year. Rick Neuheisel, just part of a long line of great coaches. There's his record against Washington State. That 2002 game, I was on the sideline for that game. 3 overtimes. Wow. Jason Gesser, the quarterback at Washington State, and the Cougars were ranked number 3 in the country. And the Huskies came in and beat them in 3 overtimes. I'm sure Rick will tell everybody all about it coming up on the Geico halftime report.
Well, Rich, I was actually swag surfing. Are you familiar with that dance?
Yes. Well, look, our first show, it was aura farming.
Okay.
So this is swag surfing. I'm learning.
Wow, look at Rich. I didn't know you knew the lingo like that, Rich.
I'm not really locked into the Insta, but I'm getting there. Tiff is trying to help me.
Rich is on game, ladies and gentlemen. I'll tell you who needs to step up their game, this Washington State defense. They need to get a stop.
Rich, guys, I can only do so much in trying to help him with the social media game, but he needs to up his shoe game like Coach Fish.
Oh, that's right, in our meetings yesterday. 1st and 10, Williams, ton of time. And he's caught and dropped. Oh, maybe twice, once for good measure. Now this is Isaac Terrell, number 88, the guy they say who plays with his hair on fire. It's a loss of 6.
Isaac Terrell, also known as Bobby Terrell, because of Bobby Boucher, the water boy. He's having some high-quality H2O today, Rich. There he is. He says he plays like his hair's on fire, like the water boy.
And the funny thing is, most of the transfers that came in thought his real name was Bobby. Williams pulls. Man, this guy is good. And he's still going out to the 45-yard line. Damon Williams Jr. Last year, Jed Fish played him in every game in meaningful minutes and meaningful series because he knew this year he'd be the man.
And tackling is going to be meaningful for this defense. They're not doing this. Look at the amount of angles that Damon Williams is just destroying with his ability to cut back with his feet. This kid's the total package, and he's been phenomenal this season.
Tiff, you got more?
Yeah, Rich, I'll pause right real quick and let you handle this play real fast.
1st and 10 for the 45. Muhammad can't slip the tackle from Max Balloon. And now we get to Tiffany. Hi, Tiff.
Yeah, Rich, that command of the offense that Damon Williams has, well, Coach Fish said that's the difference in him this year, that he's a guy that can identify what a defense is trying to do and figure out a way to get out of it.
Tiff, I think he said he knew the offense last year. He owns the offense this year. And he also owns some Gucci shoes, which both you guys were marveling at the meeting yesterday. Injured Cougar down right now. 21-10, Washington on top, 3:45 left. Washington State gets the football to start the second half. We'll step aside. That is Max Balloon who is down. We're back after this. Max Balloon, one of the 16 portal transfers from South Dakota State, made the tackle, paid the price on his way to the sideline.
Crowd is on their feet, electric environment. TFL for Balloon there, their 4th TFL of the day. But the plays after the TFL, Rich, that is when Washington had the big runs from the quarterback, the big pass to Jonah Coleman. They got to play well and tackle multiple plays in a row.
Blitz comes. Williams looking and scrambling and gets blasted right in front of the student section. They like that one right at the 44-yard line. Williams not big, 5'11", 190.
There you go. This is fiery right here. If you want to keep running the quarterback, you got to make him pay. Williams spins right into trouble. Gets knocked on his butt. Gets up jawing. This is a rivalry. This means something, people. And this 3rd down means a lot. Washington has only punted 2 times all year. Can Washington State make them punt here?
One of the country's best on 3rd down. 4-man rush. Williams, sideline throw. Boston caught. How pretty is that? Far hash mark on the money. That's about a 45-yard throw in total.
It doesn't get better execution than this. Denzel Boston's been quiet since the touchdown catch. A beautiful corner route against leverage and such a perfectly placed ball. Great ball, great catch, beats great coverage every time.
Third and final charge timeout, Washington State. This will be a 30-second timeout.
Nobody can stop Washington right now. I mean, nobody. Last 17 drives, 15 touchdowns, a field goal, a stop. A kneel down is not a stop, all right?
Well, if they kneel, you know.
That does not count as a
17
stop.
drives, 15 touchdowns. That is an insane stat.
And I think that's why Washington State burned a precious timeout, their last timeout, just to try to regroup, give the defense a blow right now.
And this isn't going to help them. Max Balloon, their great D tackle who had the TFL, head into the locker room now.
Tiff, you got more?
Yeah, his status for right now is lower body questionable, guys. So I'll keep you posted.
All right, thank you. After the timeout, Coleman is in. Williams in the shotgun. 1st and 10. Washington State 38. Coleman slips a tackle, spins from another, and lunges to the 32. Yards, he has yakability. Yards after contact. 2-minute timeout coming up. See if they sneak in a play. 2nd and 4. Williams fires. Tight window there, caught. Audric Harris with the catch. Through the years, 2-minute timeout, the Apple Cup, man, going way back. Chris Peterson in there, Kalen DeBoer. So much history and so many great moments. Final 2 minutes of the first half presented by the Active Cash Card from Wells Fargo. Well, we are watching almost a national coming out party for this guy, Damon Williams Jr. Look at the first half he's having.
Richie physically couldn't be any better. 152 in the air, 74 on the ground. He's thrown one, he's run one. Now he's got a 2-minute situation here. They have all 3 timeouts. Everything's available. The run game, the pass game, the screen game. And remember, anytime number 12 is one-on-one, they throw him the ball.
Boston in motion. Blitz comes. Williams time, fires, overthrows. Cade Eldridge, one of his 3 tight ends that we've seen tonight. It's 2nd down and 10.
And you flip it to the other side, Jesse Bobbitt and the Washington State defense. Damon Williams has been far too comfortable in the first half, Rich. You got to mix bringing pressure to make him uncomfortable, but he's beaten with his legs. And then how do you bring pressure, but don't leave number 12 on an island for too long?
Coleman stuffed. Gain of 1. Anthony Polano has been busy as he usually is.
Anthony Polano coming back from injury. This is their signal caller, leader on defense, and he sticks Jonah Coleman in the hole here. Beautiful tackle, the wrap and roll, and this sets up a crucial third down. Mind you, Washington hasn't punted all game long.
We're the best in the country on third down and perfect 4 of 4 tonight. Well, this is 3rd and 9. Williams hit, dropped. Wow, Parker McKenna. Third sack of the night for Washington State.
Parker McKenna, when they needed it most, just comes unblocked. O-line doesn't see him. Number 44 runs the twist game right there. Runs it beautifully. First mistake by Damon Williams, doesn't see the pressure, and he gets rocked right underneath the chin there.
Grady Gross, his career long is 47. This is from 51. Flag is down. They may lose 5 yards here for delay of game. Or did they get a timeout?
Before the ball was snapped, timeout Washington, their first for the half. It will be 30 seconds in length.
Just to the nick of time. You know, the special teams, the kicking special teams for field goals and for punting haven't had a lot of reps. I mean, Grady Gross is 1 of 1. Luke Dunn, the punter, has had 2 punts. And this is like 2.5 games in.
It's a good problem to have, isn't it, Rich? When your offense is so good, you only punt once and kick 2 field goals all year. I'm happy Jed Fish used that timeout. If he didn't, it would have been inexcusable there to take the delay of game. But they're going to line it up here, try to put one in with 30 seconds left.
51 yards. Gross did get a free swing there, and he hit it well, and he had a lot of distance. His punter, Luke Dunn, is the holder. Good snap. Lots of leg, and that's straight through. And the lead climbs by 3. Jed Fish in Washington with 25 seconds left in the first half. In the 117th Apple Cup in Pullman, Washington, it's been almost all Huskies in the first half.
I'm the Modelo Recruiter, and I'm always scouting for full-time fans. Check out this year's recruits. The teen transfer, married into the team, but acts like he's married to the team. The playmaker can get the ball through the uprights without setting foot on a field. The early season hopeful doesn't hope that this is her team's year, knows so. These fans deserve a Modelo, because football isn't really football without you.
They settled for 3, but they milked enough time off the clock that Zevi Eckhouse and Washington State probably won't have a shot at throwing a few, trying to make something happen. Washington State gets the ball to start the second half. It's a strong kick by Ethan Michalski. And, of course, Washington State used all 3 of their timeouts. This is a great shot because those two get along so well. Jed Fish in his second year, he's been everywhere. NFL, high-level jobs in the NFL, in college, great job at Arizona. He's the offensive coordinator. He's a brilliant offensive mind. I mean, like, look, when he was a high school student, he wanted to either go to law school or coach football. So when he went to Florida, he didn't play high school football. He didn't play college football. But he knew where Steve Spurrier parked. So he put a note on Spurrier's car every morning for like a month. Hey, I want to be on the staff. I'll do anything. And finally, Spurrier gave him a student assistant job. And that's how he got started in the business.
See, Rich, you're always teaching us lessons there. No timeouts. Washington State has to kneel it. Although it's 24-10, I like how Washington State has come out and played. They got a defensive stop there. The offense have done some good things. I would stay tuned because I think this second half, Washington State has more in the bag.
Well, I think Jimmy Rogers is hopeful that you are correct. But man, how impressive was Washington in the first half. 24-7 lead at the half. For Tiffany's halftime interview, with Jed Fish. Go to X at CBS Sports CFB. Now, Adam Zucker in the studio for the Geico Halftime Report. Damon Williams threw for 152. He ran for 65. And Washington at the half on top, 24-10. Night approaching in the Palouse. Second half coming up. Cougars get the football when we're back to Pullman. Yeah, the crowd has been loud in this one, especially the Washington Husky fans here in the Palouse. 24-10 going to the second half. Rich Waltz along with Logan Ryan. Tiffany Blackman will join us shortly. You know, as odd as it sounds, Washington State played pretty darn well. A big improvement from last week, but it hasn't mattered.
No, the Washington offense has been pretty unstoppable, Rich, led by their quarterback, Damon Williams Jr. And at halftime, they played a song, What Did I Miss? And he didn't miss much. He didn't miss the running lanes. He didn't miss extending plays. He's been exceptional in the air and with his feet. And if this guy keeps playing like this and Washington State is not able to stop him, he's not missing anything but these dances in the end zone, Rich.
No, he hit on that for sure. Our game trends presented by Subway. All right, Damon was outstanding. Zevi Eckhouse, though, certainly he was the right guy to start this game for Washington State. The one deflected interception is pretty much the blemish on his first half. Second half underway. Let's check in with Tiffany Blackman. Tiff?
Hey guys, I spoke with Washington State coach Jimmy Rogers. He told me what he liked about what Zevi Eckhouse is doing is that he's done a great job of managing the situation and using his legs when he needs to, being able to extend plays and throwing with accuracy outside the pocket. Defensively, well, he said the quarterback on Washington, Damon Williams, is killing them. He also said we've got to stop 12. And as for Washington, well, Coach Fish told me Damon has done an unbelievable job of managing the pressure, but they got to clean some stuff up this half. He's been sacked 3 times.
Great stuff, Tiff. Of course, number 12 is Denzel Boston, a star wide receiver for Washington. Eckhouse hands it off. This is Angel Johnson, who gets a start and then gets popped after a 2-yard gain. Rashawn Clark made the hit.
And let's set the record straight, Rich. Zevi Eckhouse has not played bad at all. He got named the starter this week. Only 1 start at Wazoo. The bowl game last year. And he was efficient in the first half. He gave his team chances. He's been playing against a really, really good Washington defense. The problem is the Washington State defense is not matching or stopping the Washington offense at all.
A second down. Eckhouse fires over the middle, man open. That's Noga with the catch out to the 43-yard line. The other impressive thing for Eckhouse, he's doing that without a running game as things get chippy on the far sideline.
Look at the chippiness there. This game matters. It's a rivalry game. This is how you play it. And like we mentioned, Eckhouse is doing his thing too. He may not be the best quarterback on the field, but don't tell him that. Look at Prysock and Noga.
Now, see, now this is the Apple Cup. I mean, look, realistically, 8-10 years ago when teams were more veteran and more players came from this state, there was a lot more of that stuff. Johnson, Washington in pursuit. Good hit there. Prysock and Alukta making the stop.
They have not get Angel Johnson going this game, let alone this season. An explosive back. High school track star, they got to find lanes and plays for him to show his speed.
Washington State only 31 total yards on the ground. Jimmy Rogers in his first Apple Cup. Of course, Jed Fish in just his second. Eckhouse, straight back, fires sideline, caught there. That's Lechner, and he turns up the sideline. Flag comes down late. A flag comes down late in the backfield, teaching the rivalry. Yeah, look at all the players. There's new players on both sides, especially Washington State. So they're just learning about this Apple Cup
Personal
stuff.
Foul, roughing the passer. Defense number 11. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic first down.
Louis Ungalele a little bit late.
Ty number 11 comes a step too late. The ball's well out. You can't bump the quarterback 2 steps too late. This is the chippiness. This is the emotion in the rivalry.
Penalty being forced from the end of the run. First down.
Yeah, that's a special added bonus for Washington State, where they mark the penalty from the completion to Lechner.
That is a massive play for the Washington State offense. That's an explosive play with the completion plus the 15 yards. I love the spread offense, Rich. I love going empty formation and spreading it out for Zevi for him to pick his matchups or utilize his feet and run some quarterback draws.
Eckhouse is 12 of 15, 131 yards. Maxwell Woods in the backfield. Eckhouse steps through the rush. Little quick pass is caught there by Woods. And Woods gets to the 22-yard line. Got to get to the 17 for a first down. Second down. Survivor is always evolving. And in 4 days, 18 players will make their mark on Survivor history. Survivor returns CBS Wednesday. Streams on Paramount Plus. First possession, second half. Jimmy Rogers.
Jimmy Rogers always has a serious face. I think he'll do good on Survivor.
He's never lost a home game, has he?
He's not used to losing.
This is only his 3rd year as a head coach. Eckhouse, quick throw. Neal with the catch. That is Leon Neal Jr., who knows a lot about this rivalry. His father was a Husky, and that's 12 yards.
They're on the ball. Again, I love the spread out offense. Put the ball in Zevi Eckhouse's hands.
Eckhouse, nice move. And he's going to pick up 3 more yards. Isaiah Ward made the stop. He is a baller, as they told us yesterday. He's not big, 6 feet, 210 pounds, so he's got some heft to him.
But he was a player of the year over there at Bryant.
Oh, yeah. It was a Walter Payton Award finalist as well. That's the Heisman Trophy of FCS. He was really good in that league.
He's really good when he gets on the football field. Now he's got his opportunity today.
Of course, he had the great bowl game last year in the Holiday Bowl. Threw for 363. Little slant. Caught. Touchdown. Ellison.
What a halftime speech. What a response by Washington State to come out and go right down the field. One-on-one matchup. Perfect ball. Eckhouse to Devin Ellison. The JUCO transfer. That's too easy. If you want to play man-to-man, you can't get beat on the inside. Devin Ellison has his TikTok dances too. We got a game, Rich.
Remember the field goal Washington State added late. Extra point here brings them within a touchdown. And Eckhouse was 5 of 5 for 66 yards on that drive. And the roughing the passer penalty was a big one and a costly one for Washington. Extra point is good. Washington takes the opening kick of the second half. Length of the field. Zevi Eckhouse. Devin Ellison. 24-17. Devin Ellison, in his first action for Washington State, has been outstanding in the Apple Cup.
He's been explosive. They've been waiting on him. He's had quite the road as a JUCO transfer to get his grades right. Get your grades right, kids, because when you do, and you get your opportunity, you get to make plays in the Apple Cup. I'm happy for him.
You can see the amount of football he did not play when he started at Southern. To get his grades right, he had to go to junior college, didn't play in 23, 10 games last year in JUCO. This is his first game this year. He adds a little swerve and a little elusiveness and some speed on the outside. Onside kick. Oh no, it's picked up. Wow, Washington almost had one of those recovery touchdowns. That's a heads-up play by the Huskies. Desmond Roebuck, one of the wide receivers, charged up, grabbed the onside kick, and were it not for a Washington State tackler, that would have been 6 points for Washington.
It was a beautiful kick, just a yard short. It bounced at that 9-yard mark. Roebuck, the freshman, right on the spot. But this is Washington State. When you can't stop the other team's offense, you try to steal a possession. I know it's aggressive, Rich. I know you're shaking your head, but they're going for it. You know, they're going for the win in this one.
Well, it's a really short field here for a great offense. Jonah Coleman in the backfield, first carry. Coleman breaks loose, and he's tripped up after a gain of 13 more yards. Tucker Large made the stop.
You see Jonah Coleman coming up and saying, this close, a shoestring away from making you pay for that onside kick. This guy makes people miss. When the quarterback hands it off, the running back makes you pay.
Coleman again, and again he's loose, and again he's breaking tackles. My gosh, this guy has blossomed. He's put in the work too. First at Arizona and now at Washington.
Rich, as a defender, it's demoralizing when the guy runs out of bounds on his feet. Look at all these chances to tackle him. He's stumbling, he's bumbling, and he's still on his feet on the way out. Polano misses one, and they're all chasing him. He's too big, too strong, too fast. That's demoralizing when you can't get the running back on the ground.
5'9", 220 is Coleman. He's run for 51 yards on 9 carries. This time it's Mohammed, and Mohammed, hit by Parker McKenna, is down to the 6.
Washington State was aggressive with the onside kick attempt. They got to be aggressive in the play calling down here in the red zone. They got to try to force a mistake. Bring the pressure, dial up the blitz. You got to live with the one-on-one coverage on Denzel Boston. But they got to stop this running game, and they got to make sure they keep the ball out of Damon Williams' hands.
One of the best red zone teams in the country as well. Coleman's back in. Williams will throw, ton of time, still looking, now scrambling, and racing to the sideline, and he's hit and dropped at the 2-yard line.
It's too much time, Rich. Look at it, no pressure. He's dancing. Look how elusive he is. I want to tell him for his career, you got to start knowing when to get down. Hits like these, you don't make it to the NFL if you keep taking them.
There is an injury right now. You know, the biggest investment Washington made in the offseason was with their offensive line, and it's the most improved spot on that roster. And it is showing today, both in running the football and pass protection. Caden Beatty is down for Washington State. Will step aside. The Home Depot College Football on CBS is sponsored by Progressive, FedEx, Taco Bell, and by Chewy. Cats and dogs living with each other. What is this Apple Cup coming to? It's all part of the tradition. Beatty is up on his feet and coming off. And in the tent now as Washington's on the doorstep after an onside kick that almost was a disaster for Washington State. Little inside handoff. This is Coleman. This is a touchdown, Washington.
Beautiful play design by Jed Fish here. Look how they hide Jonah Coleman, the go-to guy. He's not in the backfield. He's actually right there, coming back, hidden, tucked in by the tight end. They had Jordan Washington, number 4, behind the center, and they sneaked Jonah Coleman in there, and the defense was not able to identify.
I'd say the best block on that play was John Mills, the left guard. He's 17 years old, a true freshman for Washington.
A top high school recruit that they needed to have.
Do you know how good you have to be to start at left guard at 17 in the Big Ten? He's that good. Remember the onside kick, a real gamble after Washington State opened the half with a touchdown. Roebuck recovered, and the Huskies are back in the end zone. You are looking live at one of our camera operators. That's Ryan Gorsuch. His dad, Steve, a legendary figure for decades at CBS Sports. He was a technical director for the NFL Today for many of those 50 years. And that was appointment viewing as a youngster in the morning on the West Coast. Get ready for the NFL on Sunday. The running game still is non-existent. And this is game 4 for Washington State.
It has not been there all season and has not been there today. And this is the O-line kind of outmatched against Washington's depth of D-line. I do like the ability of what they've done to still generate yards, which has obviously been the pass game. It's been the misdirection, Rich. It's causing confusion. And Zevi Eckhouse is going to have to do that. Remember, he drove the ball downfield last time.
Shotgun, Eckhouse, short range. That's Landon Wright. Knocked out of bounds. Gain of 3. We check in with Tiffany Blackman.
Hey guys, just an update on Washington State's Caden Beatty. He is probable he's dealing with an upper body injury. I'll keep you guys posted.
All right, thank you, Tiff. Jimmy Rogers was a great linebacker at South Dakota State and was there for 19 years. As a player, assistant, and then head coach. 2 years, won a national championship, went to the semifinals, and lands the Washington State head coaching job. He's 38. Eckhouse spinning away, looking downfield, fires it, got some man there, it's caught! It's Meredith! Eckhouse channeling his inner Favre. Rolling and throwing, and Meredith with a nice catch.
When we sat down with Zevi Eckhouse, Rich, you asked him his favorite throw, and he said post. This is a deep post ball right there to Joshua Meredith. This guy had a Big Apple Cup last year, 5th-year senior, and look at his ability to track the ball downfield for a major gain for the Washington State offense.
48 yards on the throw. Voorhees in the backfield. And Washington State's offense really looks like it's in gear here in the second half. Eckhouse, lots of time. Wanders, dumps it off. That's Fale, the tight end. And he's going to get about 8 or 9 yards. This is moxie here, isn't it? I mean, Eckhouse is creative, smart, athletic.
He takes risk with the post across the field there. But then he also plays smart and checks it down there. I really like his blend. He's played so efficient today, and he's honestly given his team a chance this far in his first start this season.
Washington State is just 3 yards behind Washington for total yards in this game. They've got 277. Voorhees shedding tacklers, but he's swarmed back at the 15. Washington State. First 5 possessions. That interception, remember, Eckhouse was hit, the ball was tipped, and it stopped a drive in Washington territory.
And they haven't been stopped since, Rich. Remember, the interception and the onside kick. That's the only difference of the 2 plays that is dictating the score right now.
It's 3rd down and 2. Johnson's in the backfield. Has the pitch, and he's got company. And now this is decision time for Washington State. He'll lose 2. It's 4th and 4. And if you're going to onside kick early in the second half, I think you're certainly going to go for it on 4th and 4.
I extremely dislike the play call here. Nothing downhill. A pitch to Angel Johnson. He hasn't been going all season. But you said it, Rich. You have to go for it on this 4th down. If you went for it on the onside kick, and Zevi Eckhouse has been delivering for you all day, keep the ball in number 4's hands. Make something happen.
5 of 6 this year on 4th down. Shotgun. Lots of time. Eckhouse throw. Has a man. And a first down. That's Woods. To the 7. 13 different receivers have caught passes for Washington State.
Maxwell Woods is a running back. He runs a simple mesh route. Washington sits in a zone. They don't play man-to-man, but Woods still finds the space. I like how he turns upfield to assure that he gets that first down there. Look at all these backs in the backfield, Rich. They're all going to go different directions to cause confusion.
One of them is Trey Lechner, a favorite target in tight. And that's Lechner with the catch. He's at the 8, and he muscles his way out of bounds. Jacob Lane made the stop. They move Lechner around. He's number 23. He's kind of a hybrid running back, tight end, wing back.
Yeah, and he was a high school running back, Rich, so he's comfortable running the ball. They had 3 backs in the backfield there. One went deep, one went with a play fake, and Lechner went short. He's really their red zone threat. They snuck him out twice this season for touchdowns. 23 comes alive in the red zone.
5 of 5, 68 yards is Eckhouse on this drive. Washington State told us they would move him around yesterday, and man, were they right. He's been moving everywhere. Pulls it, throws it. That should be good for a first down, and that's Brandon Ganashamorthy. Looks like they want to go fast here, and it is first and goal. Ganashamorthy with the catch. Voorhees in the backfield.
They want to be on the ball quick so Washington can't sub. Watch the sneak and the push.
Eckhouse gets a yard, and that's it. There's a flag down right at the line of scrimmage.
Offside. Defense number 6. Half the distance to the goal. First down. Timeout on the field for defensive end.
Husky is down right now, but back up quickly. Looks like Bryce Butler is coming off the field on his own power. Here's the offside. I don't know that anyone jumped, but my guess is somebody lined up offside.
They don't go under center too often. Almost a fumble there. Look at the ball coming out as he's jumping, not able to extend.
Yeah,
remember, this is his first start of the year.
Remember, we asked Brock Dew, the center, how many times he'd snapped it.
Rich, they're going to run it again.
Up, in, touchdown, Washington State.
The country is getting tired of the old tush push, aren't they? But guess what? It still works if you line up on sides. They go back to the well. Look at Trey Lechner with the push behind him. Zevi Eckhouse is the athletic quarterback, but it's really the push that gets it over the line there.
The first 10 minutes of this football game looked like an absolute blowout. Washington State is off the canvas and within a touchdown. Zevi Eckhouse with his arm and his legs and some help from his friends.
Adam Zucker with the Jeep update. Kurt Cignetti said at halftime he wanted more points. First possession, third quarter, Kalon Black nearly untouched to the end zone on 3rd and 2. It's 42-10 now. Fernando Mendoza, 4 touchdown passes, only 2 incompletions. Guys, they might have to switch rankings after this week.
Adam, I don't think they should do the rankings till like mid-October, to be honest with you. Butch the Cougar is in attendance. And of course, got a Big Ten team here in Washington who hosts Ohio State on CBS next week. Washington State, underdogs in this one, is hanging around. And that one is through the end zone, and we go down to the sidelines. Tiffany Blackman. Tiff?
Hey guys, when I was over by the Washington State sideline, I could hear the student section chanting, Zevi, Zevi. I made my way over to get behind the defense here on the Washington sideline. Lots of frustration, some helmet slamming, and then linebacker Devin Bryant gathering the guys around, telling them to do your job. They're going to try to get it together, guys.
All right, thank you, Tiff.
Oh, I've heard about do your job quite a few times from Bill Belichick, New England Patriots. When you're favored and you believe you're the better team, You can't let the other team come out with 2 touchdowns the first 2 drives.
Well, I know the offense hasn't been bickering. They've been brilliant tonight. This is Coleman, a career high in yardage as a receiver in this one. And that's 9 yards. And here's why there's no bickering with Washington's offense. They have not been stopped in 3 games now. They've scored on all their possessions. And Coleman and Damon Williams and Denzel Boston, all of those guys are the reason why McKenna made the stop for Washington State. That being said, I think it's like 17 straight possessions that they've scored.
Yeah.
If Washington State were to get a stop, with the momentum they have offensively and the electricity they've got in this stadium,
they need a stop. They want to stop so bad.
Coleman picks up 3 here. He's to the 39-yard line. Cale Reeder came up and made the hit.
And you know, Rich, when you show that graphic and you talk about them being not stopped in 3 weeks, you know who's the happiest person about that? The punter. He's getting paid to sit down. He has not been used much. No. Washington State would love to see the punter today.
Yeah, 2 punts in 2.5 games. Williams back, ton of time, scrambles, escapes, and dives over the 50. And that's about a 13-yard gain and a first down. Don't forget, later in the game, it's the play of the game, presented by Jersey Mike's Subs. Good chance this guy will be involved. For me, the play of the game in the first half was when he escaped a sack, spun out of the pocket, and found Coleman in the flat for what was about a 50-yard gain. Muhammad in the backfield now, and Williams will pull it, and he gets inside the 45, dives forward. He's close to the first down, so be it. Second down and about 1.
Damon Williams is so efficient today. And when you play a quarterback like this, when you're playing a Lamar Jackson, these guys that are deadly runners, you got to take the running game away from him.
Muhammad has the first down to the 38. Damon Williams has run for 89 yards on 11 carries. That's a career high. He's 10 of 12 for 161 yards. And as you've noted, he's the most accurate passer in college football. And he and Jed Fish are going to get a chance to chew it up here a little bit between the 3rd and the 4th. This has turned into a really fun Apple Cup. Washington State won't go away. Washington looks great. On to the 4th in Pullman. And in the 117th Apple Cup, we start the 4th with Washington on the move. America's most popular crime shows move to Tuesday. NCIS, NCIS Origins, and NCIS Sydney on a new night, NCIS Tuesday. New seasons begin Tuesday, October 14th, part of CBS Premiere Week. Moments ago, Tiffany Blackman with Jed Fish.
Coach, 1st and 10 for you all on this drive. What do you want to see for these guys?
I'd like to see us finish this with a touchdown. That's the most important thing we can do, execute our offense.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Tiffany. Short and sweet.
Straight to the point. That's all he's been seeing is touchdowns a night. Washington State just needs to force a mistake. Damon Williams has been so good. This defense got to force him to make a mistake.
1st and 10 here. Play action. Williams, lots of time. Pocket collapses, throws on the run. Boston with the catch. Blasted out of bounds at the 24-yard line. How do you defend this? Their offensive line is great. Williams, when flush, can throw on the run, and Boston seemingly always open.
You don't defend it, Rich. This is high-level quarterbacking. Look, the route's not there. He extends the play. Great relationship. This is what his feet do. It buys him time, and that number is right between the 1 and the 2, Rich. It doesn't get better than that.
15 yards on the throw. Williams now 11 of 13. This is Muhammad. Muhammad, and he's down to the 3. Adam Muhammad averaging 60 yards a game. He is a really nice backup and complement to Jonah Coleman. 20 yards on that one. Now they go quick. Muhammad still in the backfield. He'll get it again. This time he stopped. 2nd and goal.
The issue with the Jesse Bobbitt defense today has been the lack of edge. Muhammad cuts downhill, nobody's there. He's running on air and then tackling. You got to make that tackle there. Muhammad falls forward. Remember last time they were down here, they found a way to get Jonah Coleman the ball. Not in the backfield, but it looks like our quarterback can't get the play. Maybe his headset is having an issue at the moment.
And they're going to burn a timeout. We talked to Gene Steratore about this, and one of the things Gene said, if it's comms from coordinator to player, like Fish to Williams, and it goes out, and you call a timeout, you don't get the timeout back, and the other team doesn't have to pull their comms. That's something that you have to deal with. If you lose all comms on the sideline, only then would they go to the other sideline and pull the comms for the other team.
Right. And let's give credit, Rich, to this crowd today. They've been electric out here in Pullman. Wazoo has been loud, and that can play into hearing the call when the crowd is this loud.
And you know, this is such an interesting scene because Apple Cups have always been played in the dark of November in this state, in the snow and the ice here, in the rain and the cold in Seattle. Obviously, with the league change by Washington now, it's been moved to September. 63 degrees last year in Seattle. Man, it was up in the 80s to start this one. 2nd and goal, Coleman's in the backfield. Williams is stopped and dropped. And that's Isaac Terrell, Bobby Boucher, hair on fire.
The Wazoo defense needed to stop. Malachi Tyase, 98, comes in here unblocked. That's a mistake by the Washington offensive line. He needs to be blocked on that play. Now it's 3rd and goal. It's deafening. It's loud. And Washington State comes out in man-to-man coverage here. Always got to find Denzel Boston.
Blitz comes, Williams throws, corner, Boston! Oh man, what a catch! Automatic are these two, and Washington scores again.
Rich, we called it. One-on-one coverage, Denzel Boston. All crucial downs this game, the first touchdown of the game, and the most important one right now. His quarterback knows who's one-on-one, the 6'4", next Rome Odunze at Washington, the next star wide receiver, Denzel Boston. And he gets up and he's talking, is this taunting? But he's quietly and nicely saying, Rich, you can't guard me. That's what he's telling him.
Well, that's not very nice. I know it's the truth.
I'm sure he said it with his manners, though.
Next week on CBS, Washington hosts #1 Ohio State. But right now, nobody can stop this Washington offense. Devon Williams Jr., Denzel Boston, it's back to a 2-touchdown lead. A look at our IHG Hotels and Resorts game recap. Even Timmy Trumpet was entertained by this Apple Cup here. 38-24. Washington has not been stopped on offense, but Washington State, who lost by 49 points last week on the road to North Texas, has looked pretty darn good offensively. And of course, the quarterback change from last week to this week, Zevi Eckhouse has really put this offense in gear. Washington State 292 total yards. And their offense has gone the length of the field for touchdowns their last 2 possessions. They're down 2 touchdowns. Still a lot of time left in the 117th Apple Cup. Washington and Washington State. All right, let's head to New York for this update. Adam Zucker.
Hey, Rich, yeah, the latest from Arch Manning's night. Now 13 straight completions, which is better than 10 straight incompletions like we saw last week. 2 touchdowns to Ryan Wingo among them. 5 total touchdowns, a week off coming, and then going to Florida after that.
All right, thank you, Adam. 38-24. Of course, so much, a ridiculous amount of pressure on Arch Manning. Certainly all the eyes, not only of Texas, but everybody else on him. Here tonight, we've been watching 2 quarterbacks have terrific nights. Only 5 incomplete passes the whole night for both teams. And that's going to be incomplete. No flags. Right in front of the Washington State bench. In the pattern, it was Carter Pabst. In the coverage, Ephesians Prysock.
And check the pass rush here by Zach Durfee with the spin move again. Gets in the backfield, forces an early throw. The throw a little bit inaccurate. They want a PI there on Prysock, but was that ball catchable? It was so short. The receiver's going to say I wasn't able to get back because of the contact.
Eckhouse going to throw this one. That's for Pabst, and it's just over his head. He threw that ball kind of on the run in an awkward spot, and he just threw it like 60 yards.
Eckhouse has his ability. Look, he sets up in the pocket, but again, guys all in the backfield, and he throws his favorite route, the post route, and it's just a yard too long. Imagine if he had the offensive line to give him a time to set up on that throw. Carter Pabst has been their big play freshman all year. They are so close to connecting on that one, Rich.
3rd down and 10. Four of 7 tonight on 3rd down is Washington State. Eckhouse, a slant, caught there. That's a first down. Well, hold on. Yes, he got the first down. Josh Meredith, who had a great Apple Cup last year, and he's got 3 catches for 70 yards in this one. That's for 11.
He's been extremely timely every time they needed him, but they're back on the ball here, down 2 scores.
Voorhees in the game in the backfield. Eckhouse throws into traffic, and it's incomplete. Prysock there on the coverage.
This is what Washington State's defense is built on, man-to-man coverage with these corners right here. Ephesians Prysock almost came away with a PBU there. Way to stay square and patient and not allow the inside route to come free.
2nd down and 10. Jackson Potter got the start last week. Ryan Walters told us we're preparing for all 3 quarterbacks, and he's seen only one, and that's Zevi Eckhouse. No punts by either team tonight. Both quarterbacks have been brilliant. The 1 interception by Washington was a costly one for Washington State in the first half. A lot of pads popping there to the 41-yard line. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 5. That's Voorhees. 3 of the running backs transferred in from South Dakota State, and there is a player, and that does look like Prysock down right now.
That's Buda Luka, Rich.
It is Buda Luka.
A key piece of the Washington defense, the former Washington State transfer, and he's down. This is a major impact here. Let's see how Buda is able to come out of this one.
We'll step aside and return to Pullman after this. Tariq Buda Alukta helped up after this. Ouch.
You see that knee there. Turn your head if you're squeamish, but let's hope that Buda's okay. A key 3rd down here. I think this is 4-down territory for the Washington State offense.
4-man rush. Eckhouse throws. Deep shot there. Oh. In the pattern was Ellison. The ball led him and almost felt like Ellison lost sight of the ball. Let's take a look.
Man-to-man across the board. He's giving this guy a shot. This is an extremely far throw to make, Rich. And it looked like Ellison couldn't see it in the lights. He didn't adjust. The ball's there, but he doesn't come and stack his DB in order to make that. But like I mentioned, this is 4-down territory. You're not keeping up with the Washington offense. Down 2 scores. Keep the ball in Zevi Eckhouse's house in his hands again to pick the best matchup. Washington's going to give you man-to-man like they always do. and I believe they're going to bring pressure as well with all these guys at the line of scrimmage.
6 of 7 on 4th down this year. Eckhouse with pressure, fires, it's picked off, intercepted McLaughlin, and he's gonna score! Touchdown, Washington! Second pick for the junior, the transfer from Northern Arizona. And a 47-yard return.
Look at Buddha cheering him on one leg. You know what this means, especially for him. But Alex McLaughlin fired up. Second pick of the day. This ball came out of Eckhouse's hand. Funny. McLaughlin got great vision. Lechner doesn't see it. Have a day, Alex McLaughlin. Not one pick, 2. And your second one, make it a pick 6 in the Apple Cup.
Eckhouse got no help from his receiver. Lechner had position, didn't see the ball, stepped aside, and 48 yards later, McLaughlin was in the end zone. Washington, their defense, second big play, second interception. Alex McLaughlin to the house. Washington's lead, 45-24. Home win streaks, 22.
That's not bad at all. When you got that type of offense at home, that's going to be a must-see matchup, Rich.
The decibel level in that stadium when it's full, and obviously it will be with Ohio State, is going to be really, really loud. Time permitting, Adam, Aaron, Rick, and BJ share their insights on this one and bring you the day's best highlights. The U.S. Army post-game show. Coach Rick Neuheisel, a terrific head coach at Washington. He had a really nice run. He was 4-0 in Apple Cups here. Washington has won the majority of these Apple Cups. 76, 34, and 6 is the advantage by Washington. This is number 117. Neuheisel was 4-0. Chris Peterson was 6-0 in these Apple Cups, and the great Don James, the Hall of Fame coach, was 13-5. Eckhouse slips a tackle. This kid has played hard. Ball's loose. Who's got it? Washington thinks they do.
This is going to be crucial to see who comes up with this one, Rich.
Washington says they have it. Officials, no signal. They have it. Washington forces the turnover. Eckhouse, who didn't get a lot of help from his receivers in that last drive, coughs it up here. Third turnover. Bryce Butler has the ball.
2 unfortunate plays for Eckhouse. You said the receiver didn't see it, but look at the beautiful punch out there. It doesn't get any better than that by Dylan Robinson. Elbow above the wrist, striking downhill. That is the peanut punch to a T. And Eckhouse has really battled tonight, Rich. Interception, his receiver didn't see, Lechner that is, and then he's fighting for extra yards there, but the punch was just too good.
I'm going to need you to dig into the Logan Ryan football glossary to better describe the peanut punch after this. Williams scrambling, fires to the sideline. All right. Let's get to the Modelo game changer and then your peanut punch, partner. This is the Modelo game changer.
I had a feeling. He's been a game changer since the first play to every time he's been on there, all 3 of them. Damon Williams, Jonah Coleman, and don't forget, Big Me, Denzel Boston, made him pay multiple times tonight. All of them 8, all of them got in the end zone, and they all delivered when needed to.
And you know, everybody with Ohio State watching this one, Boston coming around, the flag is down. Boston's knocked out of bounds. Flag is down at the 30-yard line.
Holding, offense number 86, 10-yard penalty, second down.
All right, give me the peanut punch. What is a peanut punch, please?
All right, Charles Peanut Tillman, great NFL defensive back for the Chicago Bears, forced so many fumbles by just punching the ball out instead of tackling with his head down. He went for the ball, and a lot of DBs realize that turnovers are turnovers. Doesn't matter if it's INT or forced fumble, so I studied his technique. and able to force some fumbles in my career as well.
Williams scrambling, and he goes down. So how does this compare with the real Peanut?
This is perfect. The elbow above the wrist, Rich, and you do that so you don't break your wrist. And that is a clean punch. If the ball carrier has the ball against their chest, you punch down on it, it will slip right out. There's almost nothing you can do. If you hit it perfectly, it will come out time and time again. I don't know, I have 14, 15 career forced fumbles, all of them with a left-handed peanut punch.
Is that practiced across the spectrum of the NFL?
Everyone talks about turnovers, 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 and punching the ball is one way to get them.
Setting up a little screen there for Jonah Coleman. He's got blockers.
He's got
speed. He's got a touchdown, Washington. Good night.
Jonah Coleman says night, night with the celly. Perfectly designed play by Jeff Fish. They draw up the screen. They had a brigade out front, and Jonah Coleman didn't need it. Look how he swings this way, and look at all the blockers out front. They have no one to block.
Man, that's a good offensive line, too. That's the most improved spot on this football team.
Play call so good, Rich, they had no one to block on that one.
Two Washington State mistakes here in the fourth quarter. 2 Washington touchdowns, the results.
Tuck them in, Jonah Coleman, tuck them in. And at the end, say night, night.
Bow down to Washington here in this second half. 52-24. Sunday, October 12th. Kickoff CBS Premiere Week. Kathy Bates in her Emmy-nominated role as Matlock. The new season begins Sunday, October 12th on CBS. That's the Bobby Boucher guy there. That's Terrell, whose nickname is Bobby, for Bobby Boucher. And of course, Kathy Bates was part of Waterboy, right?
Yeah.
She the mom.
That was a great, great movie, hilarious movie. Anytime you earn that nickname, you got to be running around and hitting people for a living.
52-24. You know, sometimes you add through the portal, and it's a guy who plays at a smaller school, Northern Arizona, for Alex McLaughlin. He looks like he's been playing in the Big Ten for a while.
He transferred up, and he's paid off for them. He's played great. Anytime you have 2 picks, that's a defensive player of the week type of day. One of them being a pick 6, and then you add in the Apple Cup. That's a heck of a debut and a heck of a season for Alex McLaughlin so far.
He was a freshman All-American at Northern Arizona. Played there last year, was first team All Big Sky. He's played well in his 3 games for the Washington Huskies. You see 5 tackles, 2 interceptions, including that pick 6. And Washington's defense right now is wrapping up. If you're Ryan Day and you're Ohio State and you're watching Washington for the showdown on CBS next weekend, what do you see?
You better bring your A game. I see an elite offensive line for Washington. I see a great running back in a running back room. I see a quarterback who's playing as well as anybody in the country, and a wide receiver who's an NFL guy, let alone the 2 6'4" corners. One of them, Sicario Davis, didn't play tonight, and a deep defensive line. It's going to be an electric matchup. All Washington does is score touchdowns.
You got a really creative offensive coordinator who obviously is the head coach in Jed Fish. Now Eckhouse fires. And that's Tony Freeman with the catch. Of course, Ohio State's going to come in next weekend to Husky Stadium with much fanfare, as you just heard. Ranked number 1. Huskies against number 1 teams. Only once did they win. 1961 Rose Bowl against Minnesota. They lost to Ohio State back in '69.
I believe that's the Apple Cup.
40 seconds.
We've been told that is the Apple Cup. And obviously Washington State won last year in Seattle. They have had possession for over a year, because I think it was a week earlier last year. And Jed Fish, man, he said he was new to the Apple Cup, but once he lost, it was like, I'm getting that thing back.
They want that thing on the plane ride back, and it looks like they're about to do that.
And they put up 50 here, right? 52-24. This offense just unbelievable. Voorhees out of the backfield. Out to the 38s. Let's go down to Tiffany Blackman with the Buddha update.
Yeah, guys, you'll notice he's not in the game for this Washington defense. That's a big loss for them. Right now, he's sitting on the bench getting ice wrapped around his left knee. He went down with that injury earlier in the quarter. But, guys, I can tell you, every time they've scored, he's been up trying to jump around on one leg and celebrate this team. But, again, a significant loss for this team right now.
Thanks, Tiff.
That's a great sign, and they're going to need him more for next week at Ohio State, which we've been hinting at, Rich.
Eckhouse scrambling, firing, incomplete. On the flip side, I think Washington State has found their quarterback. He's playing against a really, really good defense, and I think Jimmy Rogers is going to look at the film and like a lot of what he sees from Zevi Eckhouse. Yeah, the interceptions hurt. Didn't get a lot of help from his receivers on that second one.
And Washington State's a quarterback school, Rich. You know the history of it. Just recently, Ryan Leaf, Gardner Minshew, Cam Ward, John Mateer look like he's pretty good at Oklahoma. And they need a quarterback here. That is what this school's about. I believe Zevi Eckhouse earned the opportunity to be the starting quarterback for the rest of the year.
That is part of the storyline of this rivalry, the Apple Cup, as Voorhees is hit. The Apple Cup, Washington and Washington State over the last 30, 40 years has just had incredible quarterbacks that have played. I mean, you're going back, if you want to start with Washington State, Jack Thompson, Mark Rippon, Drew Bledsoe, Tim Rosenbaugh, Ryan Leaf, Jason Gesser, the Hawaiian, was outstanding. Luke Falk threw for as many yards as anybody here.
We got confirmation, Rich. It's alive. The trophy is alive.
And you're right. I mean, like, John Mateer and Cam Ward were the quarterbacks the last 3 years.
And they're not bad at all, right? They're not bad at all. So I think part of the issue this year was the quarterback, but I think they figured it out with Eckhouse. He gives them a chance.
Eckhouse waiting for someone to get open. Sidearm throw. It's caught near the first down. It's 4th and 1. All right, I went down the Cougar quarterbacks. Now, look, apologies to those that did not make the list. We only had so much room. So you Heward brothers, Brock and Damon, you belong up there. Billy Joe Hobart won a national championship. Sonny Six Killer, my buddy, back in the day, right? Marcus Tuiasosopo's on there. How about Jake Browning? You just saw Jake Browning, right?
I did. He just pulled off the game for Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals. He led them to a 90-yard drive.
I didn't even drop in a Kerry Conklin or a Chris Chandler. 52-24, Washington.
If you buy a new phone because of a feature that's coming soon, but it's been coming soon for a full year, you could change your definition of soon, or you could just change your phone.
NCAA athletes don't just compete, they make history. Representing our nation with pride and excellence, they bring home the hardware. Our college campuses serve as training grounds for the next generation of stars. Catch tomorrow's Olympians and Paralympians on the NCAA Championship stage today.
The Apple Cup is out of its case. Washington, a commanding lead. Now, this is the first one. This is way before AstroTurf.
Oh, wow.
Hit the Northwest. This is in downtown Seattle. The score was 5-5. That was the tie. Back then, touchdowns in college football were worth 5, and there was no extra point.
And did they play on grass or just mud?
In Seattle, mostly mud, I would guess. But here in Pullman, they probably played on some snow and ice. 4th and 1. Washington State trying to keep this drive alive. Kirby Voorhees is in the backfield.
He's the short yardage back. If they do want to hand it off, it'll be to Voorhees. They have not had success in the run game tonight, though.
Straight ahead, Eckhouse has got the first down. Or excuse me, that was Voorhees getting a direct snap. So a little Wildcat action there. Sticks will move.
And fun fact, Rich.
Yes?
We still have no punts tonight.
No punting.
You can't beat that.
No punting allowed in the city limits of Pullman.
A lot of third down conversions, a lot of fourth down attempts.
Some interceptions.
Great quarterback play.
Yes.
Both sides had some great quarterback play tonight.
Eckhouse 26 of 35, 292. Williams is 13 of 16, 217, 3 touchdowns. Eckhouse and is swallowed up. One thing Washington State has to fix, though, moving forward, and we have them on CBS Sports Network next week at Colorado State. Jimmy Rogers and the Cougars have to get a running game because it's non-existent, and this is game number 4.
And that starts with the offensive line. If you saw in that play there, Eckhouse is just bleeding ground because the offensive line is getting pushed in his lap. The replay is going to demonstrate this. Look at how many Washington defenders are in the backfield. What can you do there if you're Eckhouse? You have no time to get anybody open. That has been the issue with Jimmy Rogers and his team. They can blame the quarterback, but I believe the offensive line has not given the quarterback a chance to operate all game long.
13 yards rushing in the second half. Eckhouse flushed. Well, that's a nifty little pass that's flat out dropped by Pulalasi. He had to lead him on the run. May have been behind a bit. Let's take a look.
Eckhouse creative again. This is his play style, moxie, a beautiful ball, and you have to catch that. The players got to step up for Eckhouse. I love his moxie tonight. I love his grit. I believe he's the guy to provide the spark to give us a great Apple Cup, but not enough plays were made by the players around him.
Local law enforcement making sure the Apple Cup is okay. Fumbled, picked up, Eckhouse, scrambled, and oh my goodness. Pulalasi again.
Pulalasi took one play and made it 2. Eckhouse does a terrific job of buying time. And Pulalasi not able to help his quarterback out. Even Lechner tried to give Pulalasi another shot. But, Rich, we're getting our first punt, or maybe fake punt, of the night.
An actual punt. And McLaughlin makes a fair catch. Or excuse me, it's Boston who makes the fair catch. Last road win for Washington. This is back in the Pac-12 After Dark days. And look, these were both top 15 teams here, Washington and Oregon State.
Well, Michael Penix was playing, Rich. That's not good. That's 2023, their last road win. Jed Fish hasn't been great on the road. We asked him what the issues were. You see the points, everything down. And he said he was told by a coach, bring a good team if you want to win on the road. This year, he's got a good team.
That was Steve Spurrier. And the guy that he convinced, you know, he wears the visor. He had to convince Spurrier to let him be a student assistant first and worked his way into the system. Boston tiptoeing through tacklers. And the quote was, when Spurrier was asked, you know, why is it so tough to win on the road? How come you're not winning there? If you want to win on the road, bring a good team. You're right. That's a great quote.
And I'll tell you what, Rich, they remember what happened last year in the Apple Cup, because they got the starters in here right now, and they're still throwing the ball. This is foot on the neck type treatment. They scored 70 last week, but notice how the quarterback, running back, star wide receiver are still in the game here.
Well, last year's loss really still stings. That last play of the game when they were stoned at the goal line. Coleman, who's had a huge night as a receiver, has got his first career receiving touchdown. He's over 100 on 6 catches. So I think there's a little of that. It's, hey, it's the Apple Cup. You beat us last year. We're Washington. We're putting the throttle down, and we're putting up 52.
And you better keep those kids healthy, too, because you got Ohio State coming. You want these guys to be able to play in a week for a game that might have some playoff implications down the stretch.
And Coleman comes out. Now Muhammad with the carry. And he's to the 41-yard line. Let's check in with Tiffany Blackman.
Well, guys, Coleman told us in that meeting that it means a lot to try to get the Apple Cup back. He said they are on a mission because they felt that backlash after losing last year. And he said it's definitely something that they don't want to feel again. They're playing like it.
They are. All night long. They've been so efficient on offense, Tiff. Jedd Fisch is called a masterpiece. His quarterback's the most accurate passer in the country, and he stays that tonight, and all his star players have put up big games. Someone's wide open, Rich.
Yeah, that's caught there. That's Omari Evans to the 10, and Omari Evans into the end zone. 59 yards. Put the throttle down, and they keep it down, and they've put up 58 against their in-state rival.
That's rubbing salt in the wound, but Washington's trying to get this ranking up. Complete drop coverage here. Too easy for Damon Williams. Omari Evans, the Penn State transfer, making a debut from injury this game, has an easy walk-in touchdown with the Ronaldo sweet celebration.
So how much of that is showing your rival who's boss, and how much of it is style points?
It's both, Rich. We don't get to tell. You just see the scoreboard at the end of the day.
Extra point is up and good. 2:40 left in the 117th Apple Cup. This is going to be the first win for Jedd Fisch as Washington continues. Omari Evans is back, and he's in the end zone.
Now you can play where the pros play by booking your next golf getaway with TPC Vacations. Imagine playing TPC Sawgrass, home of the Players Championship, or walk in the footsteps of the game's greatest players at TPC San Antonio, host of the Valero Texas Open. You can even escape to golf paradise at TPC Danzante Bay. Packages are inclusive of championship golf and luxury accommodations. It's golf at its highest level. Visit tpc.com/playtpc to learn more.
Last year, last play, goal line stand, game on the line. And Washington State stuffs Jonah Coleman on an option. And that really stung for Washington and their fans. It was in Seattle. It was at the Seahawks Stadium, Lumen Field. The governor of Washington admiring the trophy.
Taking a look at it. I asked Jonah Coleman, did he like the play call for Jedd Fisch to go the speed option in the boundary? He didn't throw his coach on the bus, thankfully.
He said we didn't block it well.
He said we didn't block it well, but he was okay with the play call there. So Washington fans, that's what happened down the stretch there.
Julian Duggar is going to get some run here at quarterback. And Duggar is out to the 30. Duggar, who played last week, is a really interesting package. Great runner, really strong arm. Played in the bowl game for Pitt last year, transferred in from Pitt. And so Duggar gets some run here with 2:20 left. I do want to say this. You know, we had a chance to talk to Jonah Coleman yesterday. He's not only a great running back, he is a great kid. He has accomplished so much after coming out of a really, really hard childhood in Stockton, California. He's overcome so much. He now is like a mentor and a leader. He's given back to his community. Wanted to make sure he got his flowers for that 2-minute timeout. Washington 59, Washington State 24. Time now for the play of the game presented by Jersey Mike Subs. Play along with me, Logan Ryan. Alex McLaughlin looks like a Big Ten safety.
He transferred up from the FCS, and he's worth every penny. Balled out. What a great feel when they throw it right to you. A pick six, a pick, 2 total. McLaughlin throwing the dubs up. It's been all Washington tonight. And Rich, he's still in the game. The offensive stars are still in the game. The defensive stars are still in the game. They are making a statement here at the end of this.
Julian Duggar still at quarterback. Movement and flags off the 2-minute timeout.
Illegal snap. offense, number 65. 5-yard penalty, second down.
This is a huge improvement for Washington State from last week, which was as disastrous a loss as you can have. In fact, it was, I believe, the second worst loss in Washington State history. They were wiped out by USC in 2008, I believe. And yeah, it was 69-0. They lost to USC. They had some really nice moments against a very good team. But the turnovers, the interceptions, and the lack of a run game and protection for the quarterback, those are all things they've got to figure out.
It was a game, Rich, for about 3 quarters there. The onside kick was a crucial change there of trying to be aggressive and steal possession. That awarded Washington the short field. Then the pick 6 really took it out of reach for them. But we talked about the bright side is they found a quarterback in Zevi Eckhouse. They put up more points. They still got to figure out the defense, but I believe that Washington's a true powerhouse. From the depth they have and the players they have.
Sorry about that. Jed Fish told us yesterday that when you take over a program and everything changes in the portal, the hardest thing to build is an offensive line your first year. Washington's offensive line was a mess last year. It's great this year, and I think Washington State is kind of living through that right now. Duggar, and down he goes. Armin Parker with the sack. 3rd sack of the night.
Duggar, a young player still, more of a wildcat quarterback, not quite the thrower, not comfortable there in the pocket, but there hasn't been great pockets for them tonight. This has all been Jed Fish. They came in, Rich, when we talked to him, he was confident in that meeting. They had an idea what they would do here tonight, and they looked good all 4 quarters.
You know, just think, if Steve Spurrier hadn't finally caved after all those notes under his windshield wiper on his car at Florida from this freshman, he probably would have ended up in law school because that was plan B. Fair catch called for and made at the 34-yard line. But Fish has been in a lot of places and had a lot of success. NFL stops Houston, Baltimore, Denver, Pete Carroll in Seattle, the Rams. He runs this Rams offense. Patriots, Jacksonville. In college with Harbaugh at Michigan, at UCLA, Miami, Minnesota. And for a guy that didn't play football in high school or college, man, is he a brilliant offensive mind.
When you score on 17 straight drives, Ohio State, be ready. This is going to be an electric matchup on CBS next week, Rich.
Does the streak end here? I mean, it doesn't end with a kneel down, right?
If you count a kneel down, Rich, the only way he got stopped tonight was this knee.
There you go. There's your kneel down. Washington State made this a game through 3 quarters, and then Jed Fish and Washington put the hammer down. Their offense was unstoppable. Their defense forced big turnovers. And so the Huskies, after a bye week, are 3-0. They go home and #1 Ohio State at Husky Stadium on CBS next Saturday, 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific. 117 Apple Cups now in the books. Washington State winning last year in Seattle, and Washington decisively here. And that guy is going to be fun to watch the rest of the year. Jonah Coleman. Let's check in with Tiffany Blackman. Tiff.
Here with Coach Fish and quarterback Damon Williams. Damon, I'll start with you. This is your first ever Apple Cup as the starter, and this team puts up the most points they've ever scored in an Apple Cup. What did it mean to you to be a part of it?
It means a lot, but I really just want to give thanks to God and give thanks to all my teammates, man. We never wavered. The offense, even when they were going back and forth with us, you know, they're a really good team, and, you know, we knew that coming in, and we never wavered. We responded every time we needed to, and we ended up closing out the game.
Coach Fish, you told us that your quarterback had really taken ownership of the offense this season. How did he show that today?
Yeah, I mean, the guy's fantastic. And I guess the country saw it a little bit tonight. But he was able to, once again, drive us down every time we had the ball and score. And just proud of him, proud of the way he plays, handles himself amazing on and off the field, prepares, and this is what we get.
Coach, you left your starters in. They got to play the entire game. What kind of statement did this team make in this rivalry?
Yeah, we wanted the Apple Cup back in Seattle. That was the statement.
Thanks, Coach. Damon, I know you all weren't trying to look ahead to this Ohio State game, but what kind of win, what does it do for you guys as you move forward?
It gives us a lot of confidence for sure, but we know we have a lot of stuff we got to work on, and, especially playing the #1 team in the country, we got to be prepared, and we got to come out and play well.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Tiffany. Nice job all night tonight. I love that Cheshire Cat smile by Jedd Fisch. His Huskies certainly made a statement here. The Apple Cup is going back to Seattle as Washington wins tonight in Pullman. For Logan Ryan, Tiffany Blackman, and Gene Steratore, our entire CBS crew, I'm Rich Waltz. Good night from Pullman. Huskies win it. We'll send you back to Adam Zucker and company, standing by in New York for the U.S. Army postgame show, and that is right after these messages. Good night from the Palouse.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like needing the leadership of this captain, but getting that captain.
I spy motion on the port side! Yarg, missed again! Imagine again!
What are we doing? So don't settle for just any insurance when there's State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Squalls are coming!
CBS Sports presents the U.S. Army postgame show.
We are back for more. Damon Williams and company never stop. 5 total touchdowns for him. We had Jonah Coleman going in. 59-24 Washington over Washington State. And the Huskies have now won 5 straight in Pullman. They got the trophy as well. The trophy's cool as we welcome you to the U.S. Army postgame show here. Adam Zucker alongside Aaron Taylor, Brian Jones, and former Washington coach Rick Neuheisel. But cooler than the trophy is the plunge you would take.
Lake Washington was cooler than the trophy. I can colder. Yeah, we always jumped in Lake Washington when we got back home, just to celebrate the
you and the coaching staff.
Whoever came over to my house for the celebration, there was always a celebration. Oh, we jumped in, and one time our athletic director was there, and a big booster, a guy by the name of Neil Dempsey, said, "Barbara, I'll give you $2 million for your indoor facility project if you jump in the lake."
Wow.
And she said, "My hair."
But it's for the athletic facility.
I told her, we got a robe. We'll get you a new hairdo. Don't you worry about it. Get in that lake. She decided against it.
Oh, man. And then you sat around and ate some more apples, I guess.
Apples are just the perfect delicacy at this time.
They had more than apples.
Congratulations to Washington.
Wine.
Damon Williams was outstanding. I think he's one of the bright young stars in the game, clearly. 8 for 9 on 3rd down. How impressive was that by Jedd Fisch calling plays? This will be a whale of a game next week, because I can promise you this, the Husky crowd will be there and be ready to welcome in those Buckeyes.
Ohio State at Washington on CBS next week. We saw some rapid-fire scoring by this team. 3 touchdowns in under 3 minutes in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, and that's when they're at their best. This is what they can do. Rick was talking about Damon Williams. He's a rising star, and I think a dark horse for the Heisman, depending on how that game goes next week against Ohio State. If he does well there, man, he might write his ticket if they can find a way to pull the upset. But when you're Washington and Jedd Fisch in year 2, you have a puncher's chance against a team like Ohio State. You can keep score. You can run the football. You can be balanced. This dude right here, Coleman, that dude runs hard. The key for Washington, fellas, is going to be their defense. Ohio State will give that defense all that they can handle.
Well, 59 points, most ever in an Apple Cup, will be a test for any defense facing Washington here.